I feel like this is something that really needs to be talked about. Drug addiction in teens right now. I don't know why it has gotten so common nowadays. Like, if you would have think about 10 years ago, if a teen is doing a drug or someone is doing a drug, you're like, oh my god, they are a drug addict. They have access to drugs. But nowadays, it's so common, it's not even a big deal anymore. You'll be like, you found someone doing drugs? Oh yeah, it's fine, it's no big deal. Why it's not a big deal? Why? Because of social media, you can say, because of movies or films or series. But actually, it is because how easily accessible drugs are nowadays. How is it possible for an 18-year-old or 17-year-old or for 16-year-old to have an easy access to drugs? Can we not have regulations on that? Can we not have security checks on that? Can we not have proper implementation systems on our customs or anywhere from where the drugs come from? We really need to have a good security system. Apart from that, why it is that doing drugs is so cool nowadays? Like, if you're not a part of that gang, you're like, oh, she's not very cool with it. She's such a, dumb kid, whatnot. No, you are ruining your life with drugs. I feel like we really need to talk about these things. We really need to make videos about these things, and I feel like this is a very good initiative. Making videos about it, letting your audience know, putting these videos on social media so that people are aware about the abuse of drugs, about how drugs can ruin your life, about what impact drugs can have on your and people you're connected to on their lives, because drugs do not just affect your life, it affects everyone around you. This is a very good initiative. Appreciate all the people involved in it, and I hope that we can actually make a change to it. Thank you.
Drugs obviously has very harmful effects and impact on the society, and especially the people in the young generation that is being affected by this issue. And first of all, obviously, if we talk about the young generation, their future is at stake because of this. Their mental health obviously is affected, and they don't know that which direction they are going, and their life and their future, they just destroy that because of this. And the social issue, another social issue related to this is that since we don't have, I think, much control over it. If we will have more check and balance for the availability of this item in this society, so we can definitely have a better control over it on the provision of this thing. And people, those who have already been affected by this thing, so obviously their families are suffering, they are suffering, and this, if you see it as a whole picture, so definitely this leads to the impact on the economic factor of the society as well, and on the social factor as well. And our major work, some of the people from major workforce, obviously they are just deleted from this workforce category.
Yes, I think it's really great that you're taking the initiative to make a video about it and talking about this topic that I feel like needs to be discussed. Drugs and drug addiction is something that is very wrong with our society, and people just don't realize it. It has been so normalized amongst like teens, especially our generation, that people have just accepted it and people think it's cool. Drugs are not cool. They are harmful towards you and all those people around you who care about you. We as a society should not accept them.
I think teens using drugs as a refuge to escape from their pains and their traumas is not a really good choice. They can rather find escape through therapy and psychological therapists' help, and they can just talk about their problems and have a better positive influence on them.
अस्सलाम। देखिए, when it comes to drugs, बहुत सारे लोगों के लिए it becomes a way to cope with loss. It becomes a way to cope when you're hurting in more, hurting in any kind of way. It can be low self-esteem से लेके to not having a sense of not having self-worth. It can be a way to deal with mental health problems like depression. But what happens is that it is not just a quick fix, but it is a path of destruction. It is a coping mechanism. See, coping mechanisms are meant to heal people. Drugs don't heal us. They don't nurture us the way um, spirituality, the way friendships can help us heal from our problems, from our social problems, from our emotional problems. Drugs just, in many ways, make us lose ourselves. They make us literally, जो हम होते हैं at our very core as people, our potential, our ability to be something for society, for other people, the tragedy is that we become dependent on them, especially if they are hard narcotics. And well, actually, it's any drug. Certain people have a disposition towards addiction. उनकी genes में अक्सर होता है कि they are going to be drawn to addiction, and that addiction means not just being addicted to one drug, but overall substances, to certain reckless habits. कुछ लोगों की addictive personalities होती हैं जो एक दफ़ा एक तरह से dormant होती है for a while in their life, and eventually something happens, so genes में जो एक आपकी dormant सो रही होती है addiction जाग जाती है, and then it never goes back to sleep. And you are prone to use drugs to an amount which can be very detrimental, which can take your life, which can damage. Again, for every person who is an addict, I teach sociology, so I have a bit of understanding of drugs in society and how they impact people. In sociology, one of the things we study is health, the health of individuals, and how ill health or usage of drugs impacts people socially and those around them. Essentially, देखिए होता ये है, for every person who uses drugs and faces addiction, unless they get help, they will lose their family, they will lose their friends, they will lose their relationship with another person, they will lose their family, they will lose their friends, they will lose their relationship with another person, they will miss out on opportunities for their career, they will lose their relationship with God, and they will lose themselves. And if they're working, they will lose their job. Trust me, I know this for a fact. And for any addict जो इस चीज़ को सुन रहा है, या any मेरे कोई बच्चे जो स्कूल में जो सुन रहे हैं, I will, the best advice I can give you is कि अगर आपके साथ ये damages नहीं हुए drugs use करने की वजह से जो मैंने बयान किए हैं, you're lucky. So get help, whether speak to your parents, speak to a professional, because this is addiction is a disease which needs treatment. It is not a habit that you can just get rid of. It is a psychological disease. It is related to genetics, and so, and if nothing else, अगर वो नहीं भी है, but if you're just using drugs as a way to cope, it is not going to help you. The drug will take control of you and ruin you and ruin your personality. It is like the devil. Don't give in to the devil, which are drugs, and speak to someone. You are stronger than this. We're all stronger than this. Drugs are never the answer.